Yeah, buddy, what is up? Welcome to Duct Tape Dynasty. I am the Duct Tape Dude.
I'm the dude.
And we're back, baby. It's football time. How about that? We're going to do a little impromptu football show, a little DTD After Dark tonight. Special show, special edition. No idea what's coming our way, but I guess we'll figure it out as we go. But before we get started, do us a favor. If you're not already a subscriber, minimize that screen, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, all that good stuff for us, and give us a follow. Let us know you like what's going on. I'm going to hit the like button for myself here. We already had a premature exposure of someone in the background. But anyway, that wasn't supposed to happen, but she's new, so whatever. Anyway, let's bring on our co-host tonight, because I don't know what the heck I'm doing. So let's see if these guys know what they're doing. It's been a while. We've got one old one, one new one. Here they are in a new format, nonetheless, with a new computer, a new face on the screen. It is the Ag Man, and we don't have a name for her yet. We'll just call her Carissa.
Besides Riz, no.
Riz, Carissa.
Because that's who, this is Riz, by the way, the one from all of the comments.
Yes, so ladies and gentlemen, please say welcome, hello to the Ag Man and Carissa, Riz, whatever we decide to call her. You will earn a name here eventually. How the heck are you guys?
We are doing well, at least I am. I haven't done much today besides work on Canva stuff. She actually went to work today.
Yeah, she actually earned some money to pay the bills, bring home the bacon.
Yeah, she's the summer breadwinner.
Nice.
The in bulk check.
So yeah, who is this and how are you? I mean, we already said it's Riz, it's Carissa, it's all that. But how are you, ma'am?
I'm doing pretty good, Josh. I mean, living life. So.
First time on the show.
Not much else to do.
Welcome,
Yep,
welcome. Excited to have you. I'm sure it's the folks at home are excited to have a female on the broadcast as well. They see enough of us dudes all the time, and maybe we can actually get some subscribers now and hit that 300 mark.
Hey,
but
you never know.
maybe you'll take us over the top. So no pressure, but
Hey, you never know.
So
Knock on wood.
yeah, you went to work today. You brought home the bacon. How was it? How was work? Yeah.
Rough work. I mean, I love it. I love it a lot. I respect my job. But when you sit in a classroom all day and you inventory stuff, it gets a little old.
Yeah, I suppose that could happen. I suppose so.
That's okay.
So, anyway, we are super excited to have you alongside the Ag Man in the new format, new faces, new everything, man. You got a new computer going on. Ag Man, how's it working? You figured out how to turn the thing on.
I did. I figured it out. I have updated, and I have now joined the world of the future.
Yes.
With a MacBook, which I had sworn up and down for years that I wasn't going to have one. But hey, I now have one. So
what do you think so far? You excited? You working out all right for you?
It's working out. Canva was being weird earlier today, like the program itself, but we got it figured out, and we should be good.
Well, fortunately, you've got an IT specialist next to you, somebody smart, so she no doubt has helped you out.
That's true. And we have a comment from Kevin. Riz, you have a comment from Kevin.
Oh, Rizza.
Rizza loved your work in Wu-Tang Clan. So
okay.
There you go. Yep.
Kevin.
I don't
Kevin.
know what it is.
There you
All
go.
right.
Yeah, Kevin coming over the top with. Actually, it's not that old of a reference, but he's always good for some old references.
He's always good for an old reference.
Yeah. So let's see who we
All right,
got.
I'll figure it out.
We've got you, myself, Sportnix. We've got your mom with a retracted message already in there.
What did you type, Mom? A retracted message? That's like the message that Dave typed that no one else saw but me.
Yeah.
That one time. You remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that. I don't remember what the heck it was, but
it wasn't good, I can tell you that much.
Well, maybe this one was about twine and hay bales and anyway.
Hey, Mom, where did that go? Where did that twine go?
She can't say it. She can't say it. But anyway, you can kind of see her over there, so you better at least come over and say hi, because now she's in person. She always is good for a comment to say, hi, son. She has said it in the comments, but now she can actually wave on the camera and say, hey, how are you? So you want to say hi?
Hi, Mom.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, there you go. She said hi. Now get out.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Hey, let me talk over Katie.
Kate is with us, and she is gone. So
Gone in a
anyway,
flash.
So what do we really think? I'm kidding. She's watching the show.
yeah, she's still watching, so we can't say anything too bad.
Shame on you. That's your mother.
Yeah. So anyway, tonight we're gonna do a impromptu DTD After Dark uniform review. If you didn't already pick that up from, well, I guess it doesn't really give it away on the thumbnail, but it's got uniforms and whatnot on there, and it says DTD After Dark. So there you go. That's what we're doing
North
tonight.
Uni review, so
NFC North Uni review. So Carissa's with us. Is she a NFC North team fan of some sort, or does she have an allegiance? What's the let the lady speak for herself, Andrew?
I'm not speaking for her on that.
I mean, I don't necessarily have an allegiance. My grandpa Mike, love him. He's a Raiders fan though.
Oh,
So, yeah, it's a little like
Yeah,
nah.
Josh is a Chargers fan.
yeah,
No.
that's my division. So,
But-
are you a football fan though? Did you grow up watching football? Or are you just? Is this guy sucking you into it?
He's kind of sucked me into it. I mostly watched football to enjoy the fact that the solid pancakes that they have,
Yeah,
it's comical to me, but
absolutely.
he sucked me into it. So
It's always good
now
watching a
I
little
will say
violence.
Vikings.
Okay, so you're a Vikings fan, a
To go
Vikings
back to your
faithful.
question, I will say Vikings.
All right, good
Whoa,
deal.
let's
There you go. Which
Whoa.
actually you're in good company, not just with him, but with quite a few of our viewers. We have Vikings fans,
yeah.
so
I
welcome
think
to the
there's a few
club.
of 'em.
Yeah. So we're excited to have you. We're excited to have you as a football fan, and no doubt as a Vikings fan. I'm sure Agman there is excited to have you alongside with that. So.
Yeah.
We got the Vikings glasses and everything. So.
Yeah,
I can share my disappointment in the playoffs with someone else.
yeah, if you make the playoffs. So, yeah, which my team never does. So, shoot, man, you did some graphics for us today. What are we doing? Why don't you tell the folks what we always do a uniform review type thing. We typically do specialized uniforms like the alternates or the throwbacks, whatever. And we have Sergio on here, but we're doing something a little bit different today. I've said it a few times. It's a uniform review, but why don't you tell the folks what it is we're doing and what's different than the Sergio show?
Yeah, so for those that are longtime viewers of the show, you obviously have seen our alternate uniform reviews. We are going to take a page out of the book of what Sergio and his podcast did before we got him on the show originally, and that was the Downset Drip podcast, where it was him and a couple of his buddies going through the NFL divisions and saying, like, okay, looking at all of their uniforms, their homes, aways, alternates, all that stuff, and just giving their honest thoughts and evaluating them on the show is what they did. And I sent those videos to you. That's how you got on board of getting Sergio on the show. And the rest is history. And we're hoping to get Sergio back on the show sometime in August, I would hope, after the NFL teams have released their alternate uniforms, which they're taking their sweet time to do this year. Last year it was like every other week. This year there's like nothing.
Yeah,
so it might be a really quick show with Sergio this year. You never know.
Well, who knows? I mean, I tell you, they did that third helmet option last year, and it took the teams or a few of the teams a while to catch on and come out with a third helmet option. Now that has been out there, hopefully the teams have taken advantage during the off season, and we get a little more. But yeah, like you said, there hasn't been a whole lot released just yet, but whatever.
No,
hopefully
there's only been
coming.
like only one team teased so far this year, and it's actually your team, your Chargers.
Yep.
Have said that they're releasing a new alternate in like July.
Which I'm excited for. I
It
hope
was
they
like
don't.
mid-July. I can't remember the exact date. It was a teen somewhere in there.
All right. That would be
folks in the
mid-July.
comments, if you want to look that up and let me know, that'd be great. But other than that, I think there's like an NFL rivalries program coming in with 2 divisions, so that'll be new. but I don't know if they're going to release pictures or if it's just going to be week of. Like, they're being very cryptic on that, and I can't find anything anywhere on Google trying to figure out when this is coming out. So yeah, who knows? But anyway, long story long, as we are good at here, we are going to go through the NFC North, starting off with the divisions, which that is the one on the thumbnail that you guys can see, kitty corner of us and Josh in the screen. We are going to go through the Minnesota Vikings, the Green Bay Packers, the Detroit Lions, and the Chicago Bears tonight.
Yeah, Bears.
I didn't hang up any of my personal jerseys for you, Carissa, which I know you've seen because they're in our closet, but I had these built to have you kind of come at it as a outsider's perspective. Josh and I talk about this stuff all the time. Like, if it wasn't this or F1, we would probably have very boring conversations. Because this is what we talk about. But we have our thoughts. You are the main guest here for this one. So we'll get your thoughts if we want to have us start a couple of them so we can kind of get the flow of how it's going to go. I'm going to have these slides pop up, and we're going to kind of go through what these uniforms are, maybe a little bit of story about them if there's like anything to tell, and kind of get your thoughts of them. And then what I was thinking we were hoping we could do was come up with a division best tonight, if we could.
Yeah.
Come up with, at least between the three of us, what we would consider to be, and the viewers that are watching, they can leave in the comments, what would be the best uniform of this division to represent for the best uniform in the NFL, which will come later. We're going to have multiple episodes of these, hopefully, and we can make that work.
We definitely will. So, and Carissa, I hope you will join us for all of them, because now we need you. Now you're part of the team. And if you start this journey with us, you got to finish it. So you got to at least stick around and be here for the standard uniforms, I guess we should say.
Yeah.
But yeah, what I was going to say though is, and yeah, keep the mic there. Cause I was going to ask you, with the downset drip guys, some of the cool stuff is you get, kind of the NFL perspective of, well, I like this uniform because it's a classic look, or it's a this look, or I really like, X, Y, and Z, or remember how this is kind of a throwback to their old whatever, and we like we get that from certain people, but then they also have guys on the downset drip that are just straight up, they don't care about football, they don't watch football. Now, I'm not saying that's you, but they give their perspective of just straight up fashion sense. And so what I'm saying is, I hope you can bring to this the straight up fashion sense, because let's face it, females have better fashion sense than us guys. So, so hopefully you could give that to us, the no kidding fashion sense, and your thoughts as well as a NFL fan, a Vikings fan, whatever. But yeah, anyway, so good deal. Good deal. Let's see. Let me go to the comments. By the way, Sportniks Kevin says, Chris, I grew up with the Raiders. The Raiders. So he likes it if you're a Raiders fan, although she's already given that she's leaning back towards the Vikings. So let's see what else.
A Giants fan, and they suck.
Yeah, and their uniforms are even worse. So
at least they're. When we get to the NFC East, oh my God.
Yeah.
We're going to see some good stuff and some real bad stuff.
Yes. So, oh, shoot. Now, what was I going to say? I forgot. Dang it. All right. Never mind. Whatever.
Need to get you like a teleprompter.
We'll do it live.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I won't say that out loud. The whole thing.
That's why I only said that part.
Yep. So, well, let's get. Oh, what I was going to say, we like the polls as well. We like to do the polls and have competitions and whatnot. So, we've done mascot reviews and competitions and polls and actually had a lot of fun with that stuff with the NHL mascotology.
Mascot reach out and trash talk us because we trash talked them.
Was that Gritty?
No, Gritty.
Oh no,
we had a whole other thing for Gritty, which was he should be a ref.
Hey.
But no.
Oh yes, that was a cool
mascot, which is a literal troll. I
Yes.
said that he should come out and Justin Timberlake should start playing because the Trolls movie. And we posted that on Instagram, and then he said called us Walmart Duck Dynasty.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
dressed us
that's
up.
right.
It was that was the best thing to wake up to. That
Well,
morning. I was so
Duct
pumped.
tape means, man. Walmart.
There you go.
So, by the way, my wife is already offended because I didn't ask her for fashion advice on NFL uniforms. So,
come
on in.
Come on in.
this show has got to last forever because apparently I'm sleeping on the couch tonight. So,
Oh, no.
no, it's all good. It's all good. Well, let's get into it, shall we? Who do we have
Yeah,
for the first uniform? And if you guys will, pass that mic back and forth, even though I can hear both of you with it in the middle there. That way the sound levels are just good for the folks who are listening, the 8 who are
That's
watching
fair.
thus far. So, Andrew, what do we got first? Who we going to first? Gee whiz,
Okay.
Gee Willikers. Surprise, surprise. Where are we going?
Yeah, we are going to the Minnesota Vikings home jerseys first. Got to start with the Minnesota Vikings just because when I make the graphics, I make them very biased. As you guys have made fun of me before, Homer, yes,
Yeah, well.
100%, you are correct. Look at my hat. Look at the color of our wall. It's purple. We know. Everybody knows now that I'm a Minnesota Vikings fan, unabashedly so. So this is their home uniform, just for evaluation. I know you can see it now on the graphic, and if you have the 20-second delay, we can look at it on the computer, on the TV now too. This is their home uniform, their classic one that they've worn. They've had this look since 2013. They changed it from a glossy helmet to a matte finish helmet on there with a black face mask. They've got the classic horn. They have the 2 stripes on the side. The top obviously goes up into that point. And then they have their classic look for the stripes on the pants. I can't say anything hardly on this one myself without sounding biased, but I really like these ones because it's simple, and it's very clean. I think we'll get to it in a ways the next North Division with the AFC, but I think Minnesota has the best purple in the league. Out of the 2 teams that have purple, Minnesota's is the best. But I don't know if you wanted to give thoughts first, Josh, or if Carissa, if you had ones right away, I could pass the mic back.
Yeah,
over to
let
you
me-
to get your
I'm
thoughts
gonna-
on their home purple.
Let me throw something out there with it. You kind of gave a little bit, and we know that you're biased anyway, and you like it. Simplicity, you already said. Kevin has chimed in already and says, best uni, skull. So we got Kevin's, oh, nice, in unison. I love it.
That was not rehearsed, by the way. That was awesome.
But so Kev has given his opinion. I will give a brief, and then, I want to hear what Carissa has to say. I'm not going to analyze it per se, but Carissa, feel free to analyze it if you want to. But I will say that, yes, I agree. The purple is the absolute best in the NFL. I am a purple fan. I don't admit it. Well, I do all the time, actually. Purple is one of my favorite colors out there, and these guys do purple correct. I think the matte helmet is the right call. I just think it looks so cool. It kind of almost matches into the jersey, because the jersey's not shiny, and then you get a shiny helmet. Well, these guys went matte with the helmet. It kind of just blends right into the jersey, in my opinion. And I also like the way their numbers, they kind of curve like you see on Justin Jefferson there, the 1-8. The 1 kind of has the spikes on it there. That is indicative of, I don't know if it's supposed to be Viking-esque, but I think it's a cool look in a very unique number, and I like the way it kind of blends, matches the shape of the 8 there, etc., etc. I like this uniform through and through. I think it's fantastic. But let's get the female perspective. And for my wife, if she hasn't hung up on us yet, feel free to type it in the comments what you would have to say about this uniform. It's a beautiful thing in my opinion. But Carissa, what do you have to say? What do you think of this uniform?
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you both on that matte helmet. And to what you said, Josh, that matte really kind of blends in with the shoulders and everything with that uniform. I do also like the striping on the shoulders, how it comes into a point with the Nike. That's different and unique to me. That purple is honestly one of the better purples. I would agree with that. Me being me, I love purple. I went to GCU, so purple all the way.
All right.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you guys. And the striping on the pants, that purple works. It does good for them. So I agree.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty solid all the way around uniform. What do you think? Does the gold and white go with the purple? I mean, I don't know if there's any fashionista, faux pas there. I think it looks cool together. It's actually a gold, right, Andrew? I think it's a gold. They're supposed to be a gold.
It's technically supposed to be a gold. I think it looks a little more goldenrod yellow, but I think any gold in the NFL, with the exception of maybe the Ravens and the Niners, falls trapped to that.
Yeah.
Where they say, oh, this is gold. It's like, well, is it? It's kind of more of a yellow. Niners and Ravens have actual gold color, so I think it's supposed to be, but it looks that yellow. I know some people have made a point of it, just going off of things I've heard before, that the one criticism they might have for it is looking at the stripes on the pants, is the fact that they're uneven. It has the really thick back purple stripe and then the thinner yellow and purple in the front. But I have always kind of liked it that it's a little different. And then, going from what they had before in 2012, the Adrian Peterson days, to this uniform, that switch was huge. Which I have the jersey. Well, technically you do. Have the jersey of the Adrian Peterson one before that, and this is very much a lot more calm from what they had before.
Actually, we have a comment from somebody that I haven't seen in the comments before, Blood Eagle Smeagol. I think I nailed that. I'm not going to lie to you. I got that one right.
That was
but it says, oh, my God, it's beautiful. What is that, velvet? And you know what? That is a velvet purple, right? Like that in the mat of the helmet, it almost gives it. Say that again.
It's almost a royal purple. It's just that rich purple.
Yeah, I like it. I think velvet is a great call as well. That's, it almost feels like it has texture to it. It's a good purple.
Yeah.
The Ravens, which we'll see at another time, another day, have a much darker purple that I am not as big a fan of. But let's not get ahead of ourselves with them. I think, like I said, and I'm beating a dead horse here, the purple that the Vikings use is absolutely perfect. By the way, Blood Eagle Smeagol, we are excited you're here. Thank you. If you haven't already, give us a follow. Hit that like button, something, whatever. But we're glad you're here. You're in the comments. Thank you for watching, and hopefully we have something that's not completely boring for you. So, but good call. I think. Go ahead.
And to Kevin's comment, TCU? No. I did not go to Texas or wherever the heck they're from.
Yeah, no, that's Texas
I went
Christian.
To Grand Canyon University.
GCU.
GCU, the other one.
So, yeah, but
TCU stole a logo look from them for a while, but they changed it up, so thank God.
TCU actually has purple as well, so, I mean.
They do.
And it's very similar to this purple.
It is very similar.
Yeah, so, what I was going to say, by the way, Andrew kind of hinted there was a jersey that typically hangs in the background, Adrian Peterson Vikings jersey, which actually was won by somebody named Riz, who is now you, which I didn't know at the time, but Riz was you, and congratulations, you won a jersey. We gave it away.
I don't care. I'll admit it right now. We gamed the hell out of that. Like, you guys accuse me of cheating in fantasy football, which I don't. I actually cheated our way into that jersey.
Yeah, you did. You're a cheater. So I think that might have even happened while we were in Bozeman. I can't remember. Maybe.
I think it might have started the idea of it in Bozeman. I don't think it happened until we were back here.
Okay, fair enough. But nonetheless, somebody, Riz, won the jersey, and then it showed up at Andrew's house. So go figure. All right, let's move on to the away whites for the Vikings. So again, the purples, we talked about the color being fantastic and all that. The colors did not change. However, the layout of the uniform changed. So now we've got obviously same helmet, but the jersey colors swapped. We went from a white and yellow stripe to a purple yellow stripe, white jersey. from a purple jersey, and instead of white numbers, do we have purple numbers? Holy cow. I'm confusing myself. Nonetheless, there they are, and then the pants are kind of a swap as well. Yeah, Agman, what do you have to say on this uniform? I don't like it as much as I like the home uniforms, but that's kind of consistent with me throughout the NFL. You know, I'd like the colored uniforms, the white uniform, and I get it. We got to have the contrast, so you have to have an away white, but none of them just pop like the home uniforms, in my opinion. So I'm not as big a fan of this one. I mean, the colors still work together. The whole, scheme works. Not my favorite though. Nowhere near as much a favorite as the purple uniform, the purple tops for me. I wish they'd do purple for the tops and bottoms. That'd be sick. I guess that's the color rush.
They do
but anyway.
actually do that uniform combo sometimes. And that's one thing was, if we tried to go through every uniform combination, that would have taken
forever.
A while. Some teams I was able to actually make that work on the graphics, but for the Vikings that would have taken a while because it depends on the game. Because they would pair this white jersey with the white pants every now and again, and they would pair the purple with the purple. I really like the straight purple look when they do that, but again, this is similar thoughts. Nothing. They just inverted the colors. And things haven't changed. This is the one jersey actually out of all of these that we're looking at that I don't have. Is this away one? Because I think I have similar thoughts to you. It's not quite my favorite, but it's still, like, when it's done right and it's brand new and it's fresh new season, it just looks clean, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. I like the darks over the whites, with exception of a couple times throughout the year. One of them we'll get to in a little bit, and one of them is a whole different team altogether that we'll get to later down the line. But I think these ones are cool. They're pretty simple. I'm gonna pass the mic back over.
All right, Chris. What do we think here? Is this a fashion faux pas or anything with the white uniforms, or is it? I mean, or the white jersey? I guess I should say. They have purple pants, but tell us what you have to say about this one.
I don't mind it. I don't like it though. I think what throws me for the biggest loop is probably the purple pants. It's like almost Austin Powers with the purple pants.
Okay, yeah, that's a good call.
Groovy.
Yeah, groovy, dude.
Groovy,
But-
baby. Yeah,
There it is.
yeah,
There
I
you
love
go.
it.
But I kid you not, that's exactly what it reminds me of. Those just Austin Powers.
Austin Powers purple pants. They need to be
Yeah.
leather though. They need to come out in
they
leather
gotta be
purple
leather.
pants.
Or like,
Yeah.
or velvet.
Well, yeah, we had a velvet comment earlier.
Yeah,
so
we already had the velvet comment. So
velvet pants. Yeah,
I agree.
Sure, sure. Yeah. Anyway, not my favorite
Flair.
as well. I think we're kind of in unanimous mode over this. Nonetheless, it's still cool. I like. What do you have any thoughts on the numbers, and reference my comment on the whole pointy Justin Jefferson, how the one
Nordic look to it.
Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
no,
That's
I
a
agree with your
Nordic
look.
So
I agree with the ones and stuff, that curve and the points on them. It definitely gives it more that Nordic feel. If you have ever looked at Nordic inscribings, it's pointy, and it almost looks like horns. It's weird. It's different, and it's a neat thing to have that point and stuff on the numbers, is what I would say.
Okay. See, now there you go. The Nordic look. See, we would have never got there, Andrew. So thank God you brought her along. Between the Austin Powers purple and the Nordic, you have absolutely earned your keep here. So all right.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the throwbacks. I almost said the alternates, but this one's a throwback. I'll give my opinion first. I think I have on all of them nonetheless, but this one, this gets into our kind of what I was saying about some of us have this is kind of a classic look, that kind of thing. You know, I like the big blocky numbers that they have here. It's the way that all teams used to have the NFL, or all teams in the NFL had their numbers, the big blocky things. Also, I like the fact that they have the outline on it, or as Sergio calls it, the piping on it. You know, the yellow piping or outline around the numbers. I miss that some teams have kind of gone away from that. I really liked that look. In fact, one of my favorites was I think the 49ers kind of had a triple color thing where they did 2 colors and then a shadow as well, like with their 90s. Thing? Yeah.
That was weird to me.
I loved it, man. Give me, more depth with the numbers. I love it. So I really like their numbers here, even though they're blockier. They're not Nordic, as we just heard. But I like the outline and the fact that they've got some depth to them, I guess is what I'd call it. Purple's good, as always. I'm glad that they kept the matte purple helmet here. They did have a shinier helmet back in the day. I don't know when the whole transition thing happened, but this one is more of a matte, and I like that. The gray face mask, not a fan of it, but I get it. It's a throwback uniform, so they got to go with the throwback-esque, and that's the way they used to do it. The big stripes on the side, whatever, I don't care. I'm a fan of the numbers. The numbers are the thing for me, and I know that's dorky, but I just like the numbers, the big blocky. Give me the biggest numbers on a jersey that you can have, and give me outlines and shadows and all the stuff. I'm here for it. So, Carissa, what are your opinions on their throwback uniforms here? Anything? Any? I mean, you can go for it.
Oh yeah. See, I don't mind the throwbacks. I agree with you with the bigger numbers. I don't like how blocky they are though, just because what we've gotten in the newer uniforms, the Nordic look to it, it's good. That's a solid keep, if you ask me. I would, with the newer uniforms, I would say go back to being bigger though and adding a piping to it, because trying to look at some of the newer uniforms as outlines, it's difficult to read numbers from a TV screen, and it's one of those things. The throwback uniforms gives that to you, and then you have these big blocky numbers. You can read it. You can see which player just made that touchdown.
Yes.
But no, I agree with you on the face mask though. The gray isn't it. I'm glad they moved away. They're moving away from it, so that's good. You got anything?
I like the black that they have, and I get it. It is a throwback uniform, so they got to go throwback-esque and go back to their roots, if you will. But I know Agman's a big proponent of these ones. So go ahead, give us your take on
I was
this
gonna
one.
say, these are actually one of my favorite ones. I love all the Vikings uniforms, but of them, these are one of my favorites because it's that, again, we said it already. You already called me out when we got to this slide. It's the classic look. It's all. I love this one because, I mean, it's not a perfect throwback, I guess, which I don't think any throwback now is perfect because of the new technology and everything that they go into making these uniforms. But this is pretty close to what they wore in the 60s and 70s. Which is why, actually, you can see on number 22 here, Harrison Smith, he has that bud patch on it, because the legendary head coach of the Vikings back then passed away last year, 2 years ago, whenever these first debuted. I think just last year, and they honored him with that. So, but I love these. I don't care if I just sound like a mega dork fan. I don't care. I think these ones are great because I love the simplicity of the uniform. This is just, okay, here's numbers, here's some stripes, let's go play ball. And the stripe, like, everything's even. They've got the piping and the outline. You can't really see it on these guys, but on the pants, the stripes are purple, yellow, purple, and they're just an even 3 stripes down the leg. I love the lighter face mask color because it actually, I think, makes darker colors like a purple, even though they have a lighter purple, it makes it pop. In my eyes, the lighter color really brings that out. The black face mask, while it looks good and clean, just kind of blends in. I think the gray face mask really brings it out in them, because the Vikings originally had a gray face mask. At one point, they actually, for a few years, had a white face mask on a dark purple helmet, and it looked kind of wonky looking back at pictures. The only people that I know could tell us that for sure are Papa Wally and Kevin. Are the only two that could confirm if those looked really good or not. But I love these ones. I wish they would wear them more. I know they only wear them once, maybe twice a year. Because, that's the throwback. It's the novelty. It's the whatever.
Yeah.
But I love these ones. So I understand where you guys are coming from. The Nordic look, I get it. I wish the Vikings would wear this more, or maybe even go back to something a little bit closer to this, because I love these ones personally.
I will say I don't want them to go back to it. I appreciate it when they wear it. The gray face mask, I can accept it because of the fact that it's a throwback, so they got to go back to the throwback. So whatever. But let's hit this next one. This is where the Vikings, I think, absolutely hit a freaking home run, is in their alternates. And last year we talked about the white one there, which I'll get to, but I kind of hinted on the purple look, how I like that, the color rush. There it is. Now they put yellow, gold, whatever numbers on it, which I think is just awesome. I think that purple uniform, all purple, is just sick. You've got the Nordic numbers, as we've said 1,000 times. Now on the white uniforms, which that's their winter whiteout, whatever it is, I can't remember. They went away from that kind of, oh my God, I've said it 1,000 times. The Nordic, you nailed it, Carissa, with the Nordic comment. They went away with the Nordic points there, but they did kind of keep it. If you can see, if you can look closely at the image on the 8 there of Justin Jefferson, it does have kind of a little, almost like an icicle, if you will. But they have the piping around the numbers. They have the outline. Now it's a silver on a purple number that's on a white jersey, so you can't see it as much. I think it's subtle, but I freaking love it. That white uniform is the greatest uniform in football, period, dot, end of story, in my opinion. And I'm a Charger fan. The Chargers have what are considered by many, if not most, as the greatest uniform set in the NFL. I still think that white uniform that Justin Jefferson is sporting there is the best uniform all around in the NFL. Such a freaking home run with that one. I can't get over that one. I wish every team, I've said it every year when we did the NFL uniform review, I wish every team would do an all white uniform, which is case in point what the Vikings did here, and a all, I guess it could be team color, which is again what the Vikings did here, or an all black uniform with, throw team colors in the numbers or whatever. Andrew and I, for a while, we were pitching, not that the NFL sees or hears anything that we pitch, but I can't remember, what do we call it? The lunar eclipse thing, where we think that
it was the lunar or the midnight game, one of the two. I can't remember exactly, but it was that combo, with the all blacks and whatnot. And there's a couple teams that do it just because black's one of their team colors, but I wish everyone would do it.
I wish they would as well. And I really think it's an opportunity that the NFL has yet to take advantage of. I think they might eventually, in that I think they should have, like I said, one all white, one all black, or all whatever. But they should let the season ticket holders vote on when those uniforms will be worn. And that way, it just gives you even more of a buy-in as an NFL fan. We picked the game that they're going to wear this uniform in, and it's like you had an effect on something the team did. Like, oh my gosh, the fans would be even more rabid than they already are. But I'm getting way outside of where I need to be here. I'm kind of off in left field. Baseball reference in a football show. But back to the uniforms and the purple and the white. What do you think? What's your opinions on the uniforms themselves, Carissa?
I think that purple is pretty sleek on itself. It's pretty clean, if you ask me. They have that done quite well. The whiteout uniform is by far the cleanest uniform in the NFL. Jeez. We're not talking hockey or anything else, right?
Yeah, no, not yet.
Not today. No.
Hockey season's over.
Yeah, they done. But in the NFL, they're definitely the cleanest uniforms, and I mean, Andrew doesn't have a photo of it on this, but on the back of them, that just nice little Nordic.
Oh, the
What is
chain
it?
thing on the collar?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's stinking cool.
By the way,
But
Agman and
embroidery. That's what.
there it is, and Carissa as a Vikings fan now as well. Blood Eagle Smeagol says that they actually have that Jefferson whiteout jersey, which Agman, I know you do as well. You have Jefferson's whiteout.
Yes, I do.
So-
And I have a helmet of the whiteout.
Oh,
helmet, which
yes,
we
you do.
Would have put out, but I forgot to put
It's
it
all
out.
good.
It would have been like right here, but I forgot.
It's all good. Blood Eagle Smeagol, are you a Vikings fan then, or are you just a fan of the jersey itself? I mean, either way.
Or are you doing a Dave thing where you have a jersey of every single team, but you claim you're a diehard of one?
Well, hey, who knows? Who knows? So hopefully we'll figure it out. But I agree with Carissa. Cleanest uniform in the NFL, the icy whites. That's what I think we called them, the icy whites. So, Agman, what's your opinion? We know that you're a Vikings homer, but regardless, I think these two uniforms are home runs. Once
They're
again,
awesome.
put another
At
sport.
first, when they first did the Color Rush announcement, that was like 2014 or 15, because they were trying to make Thursday Night Football not suck. So they were like, "Oh, we're gonna have the cool uniforms on Thursday night, so you guys actually watch." And then some teams never wore them, like Miami Dolphins all orange that they never wore.
Yep.
But I was a little off put by the Vikings Color Rush, which is the purple and yellow at first. I thought it kind of looked a little off because there's no white anywhere, and then the horn on the helmet sticks out, and it's kind of like it looks a little weird, but it has grown on me for ever since, and I love it too. I mean, it's the same pattern. They're not breaking anything because it's not broken, so they're not trying to fix it. They're just tweaking it here and there. The Winter Warrior or Winter Whiteout, I can't remember which one was which because another team in this division decided to say, "Hey, we want a winter uniform too."
Yep.
I think these are the Winter Warriors. I think.
I can't remember.
The fact that they added in the silver, all of that stuff, the white helmet, is what all Vikings fans had been begging for years. Because, for reference, for those of you at home, and I don't know if I've said this to you before or not, Carissa, but who knows? I talk a lot. I kind of forget what I say. The Vikings every year, the closest game they had to Christmas time, whether it was a little bit before or a little bit after their closest home game to Christmas, which, by the way, this year they're playing on Christmas, which is awesome. I'm going to have to make a way to watch that wherever we are. They did their away jerseys and their white pants, but they had their purple helmet, which still looked really cool. It was a really cool combination, but everyone's like, we need a white helmet. If we're going to do a whiteout and like invert the field to where the end zones are white and the logo's all whited out and everything, we need a white helmet. And we had been begging and begging and begging, like everybody has been talking about it forever. They finally did it. I'm sure they've had this in the works for a couple years because it actually takes about a year or two. They have to declare, teams do, that they're going to do a whole new uniform set like a season and a half before they release them, for Nike to make them all.
Oh, yeah.
And to mock it up and everything.
Plus,
so these
the
have been in the
NFL is
works
so
for a long
regulated.
time. Oh, yeah. Like, there's a whole, like, 50-minute YouTube video I saw that it goes through all of that, and it's awesome. But they added the silver on the purple. They made the icicle, like, melt effect on it with all the numbers. It looks awesome. They added the silver stripes on the side. And then the white helmet is a silver and purple. There's no yellow to be seen anywhere. And this is the first Vikings helmet in team history that actually added a stripe. So they have that silver stripe in the top of the helmet, which is just the one. I'm glad they only went one stripe and not like three and tried to make it funky. Without the stripe, it would look cool. With the stripe, it looks even cooler because it's like a subtle silvery purple, like it's kind of blended together.
Yeah.
They did a great job with these. These are some of my favorite alternates just ever. They're gonna wear these. I don't think they're gonna wear them on Christmas.
Oh,
They might wear them after.
what a
if they
miss.
do wear them, I hope they do. I hope they do, because then I'll be on Netflix watching these on Christmas. It'll be
Yeah.
great.
The only thing would
Of
be
course, I think
better
we're
is if you
playing
guys were
Detroit.
here for it then. So
Yeah, I think we're playing Detroit though, so that's kind of a
yeah,
we'll see what happens. Since Detroit doesn't suck anymore.
yeah,
But no, these are awesome. I love these alternates. If I had to pick a favorite of the two, it's the Winter Warrior for sure.
yeah.
I think everyone would agree 9.5 times out of 10. I think Kevin, I read his comment, he's kind of lukewarm on these color rush ones because the idea was kind of shotgunned out there when the NFL did it at first, and then the Vikings have just kept it. I think they call it their like primetime purples or whatever if they decide to wear them. I know they wore them on Thanksgiving one year, and it actually looked pretty cool. But yeah, the Winter Warrior for the Vikings. If I were to pick a favorite of all the uniforms, if I were to pick a Vikings representative, my personal thought would be either the throwbacks or the Winter Warrior alternates. I'll leave it at that to what you guys think on those.
All right. Well, I mean, you heard me on the whiteout, the icy whites. I think it's just absolute home run. Carissa, you've got something else to say. Go.
I just wanted to point out that Blood Eagle Smeagol has confirmed, in fact, that he is a diehard Vikings fan.
Yes.
Right on, dude.
Yep. You're in good company on this show. So,
bro.
yeah, if you haven't subscribed by now, go ahead and do it because we've got a large Vikings contingent and you are in good company. So it's not just these two. There are many more. Nonetheless, we have spent 49 minutes now on the Vikings. So let's move through the rest of these a little bit.
As we should.
A little bit quicker.
As we should.
Let's go to your favorite team of all favorite teams, then the Green Bay Packers,
why did you do this
right?
to me?
The arch nemesis of the Vikings, the Green Bay Packers.
Of the entire division.
Yeah,
Like, it's not just the Vikings. It's the whole NFC North. They're the rival.
yeah.
Everyone says we're going to beat Green Bay.
Well,
Everybody.
I mean,
They don't
it's
care.
Green Bay is a classic team, is a powerhouse team for the most part, or has been known as a powerhouse team for the most part. But anyway, let's get to it. They're home green, the green and yellow, green and gold, whatever. We talked about the fact that a lot of teams say it's gold, but it's yellow. I think Green Bay might be another one that says it's gold. But
I think they are a green and gold, but they're yellow. I
yeah.
think they do
So Green Bay is more of they stick with tradition. They don't deviate. They don't. So it was really surprising with what they did with which we will see in an alternate uniform here in a bit. But they are really a traditional team. They don't, it's kind of like the Alabama. If you follow college football, Alabama just does the same uniform every year. It's the same numbers, the same X, Y, Z. So if they ever change anything, it'll be just what the heck is going on. Green Bay is much the same, but they've got a lot of tradition. I mean, when you think of NFL, if you are to say, anybody who knows NFL, if you're to say Lambeau Field, they know, I mean, or if you say, where do the Green Bay Packers play? Everybody knows it's Lambeau Field. They are a classic NFL team.
The trophy that all teams are searching for is named after the Packers' legendary coach.
Yeah.
In
So
Vince Lombardi.
Vince
They
Lombardi,
kind of
yeah,
have a
yeah.
little bit of a foothold in the NFL, but
yeah. So as for the uniforms themselves, the home uniforms, I'm not I don't hate it. I think the green and gold or green and yellow go together. Maybe that's just because of the fact that that's always been the Green Bay thing, so that's why I think the green and gold go together. I think the colors work. I think the uniforms are simple yet effective. Nothing to really oogle at per se. I mean, you put these up against a Vikings uniform, allegiances aside, I don't think they hold weight. Unless you're one of the people that is just like, well, it's you got to stick with the classics, whatever. I'm talking fashionista wise. It's an okay uniform. It's fine. It works. I do like the colors together. Whatever. Okay. Agman, Carissa, whoever wants to go next. Let's motor through these because, like I said
I'll go just
earlier,
'cause
we're now at 52 minutes.
I'll go just because these are this is right in front of me. Across the board for the Packers ones, I don't mind them. I have nothing adamantly against them with exception of the team they are. But like the uniforms themselves, I said it with the Vikings throwbacks. Simple. Here's some stripes. Here's some numbers. Let's go.
Yeah.
They do that. They've done nothing fancy with it. I don't even think they have a green pair of pants. I think they've had yellow pants forever. They might have a white pair they've worn once, twice. That I think we'll see in a little bit. But other than that, they haven't changed anything. And I think there's a reason they haven't changed anything. It's because they were good the first time and they didn't need to.
Yeah. I mean, I think the uniform works as is. I do like their yellow helmet. I like the G. All right, Carissa, what do you have to say on this one?
I don't mind it. I think the numbering on the uniform itself, they could use to take a page out of the Vikings throwback and do some yellow piping on it. I think that would definitely improve it a little bit. And the pants, they're yellow. They're not gold. I will argue all day on that with whoever wants to argue, but those are yellow pants, and they need to be matching the gold helmet because that is a gold color helmet.
Yeah.
It looks weird.
Okay, fair enough.
The forest green for Packers, it works. It definitely works when you already have Kelly Green with the Eagles, right?
Well,
yeah.
They used to, but the Kelly Green for another team is fine, but the forest green for Packers works, so I'm cool with it. I don't mind it. I don't hate it. I don't definitely like it, though.
Yeah, I would say it's a solid uniform. It's a good uniform.
It's solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
classic.
nothing wrong with it. If anybody can pull off yellow pants, I guess it's the Green Bay Packers. So
Gotta be.
yeah. Okay. So yeah. I don't know what else we can really say about it. I know if we had Sergio on, he'd talk about the number or the fact that the stripes aren't equal thicknesses. That's whatever. It's a plain Jane uniform, but it's effective. The Packers are plain Jane, but effective. So it fits.
Yep.
Let's go to their ways. And Carissa, why don't you keep the mic there? Once again, I think the white I'm just not as big a fan of, but also if I'm just going straight up fashion or whatever, I don't think the white goes near as good with the yellow. You know what I mean? Like, I think the forest green breaks up that yellow from the helmet and pants a little better than the white does. I think the white kind of blends it together a little more. It's closer to the same color. I know it's not anywhere near the same color, but it's closer than the green is. The green definitely breaks it up. But this one doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah. I think if they did forest pants with a yellow stripe on it, it'd definitely help it a bit more. The numbering on it almost looks like a lighter green to me in this. I don't know whether that's just the way you edited it or if that's the way they actually are. But it almost looks metallic, if you ask me.
It does have a metallic feel to it.
Reflecting off that image. But off the image, it definitely looks a little more metallic, which I think is interesting, and it works for that. But I get what you mean with the pants and the white. It blends together pretty well if you're looking at it from a distance.
Yeah, it's just not as good a separation as with the green.
Definitely not. But
Eggman.
I think if they did.
Oh, sorry.
No, I think if they did forest pants with the yellow stripe, it'd be a lot better.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. What do you say, Eggman? Anything with this one? I mean, it's kind of a boring uniform.
It doesn't do much different, but I do have an announcement to make before we move on.
Please do.
We have a goat in the comments.
Oh, Gil the goat.
Gil.
Gil is out there. I ain't been on this channel. Oh, man, it's been a while.
It has been a minute.
Age.
We have had a lot of things changing for us, so that's why. But we are getting back in the swing of things. Hopefully.
And how fitting it is that as we get back into the swing of things, Gil the goat joins us in the comments. Gil, it's great to see you. Always good to have a goat in the comments. So anyway, sorry.
Agreed. Yes. I don't have anything to say about these whites. You guys covered it. It's not as good as the greens. I say we move on to the alternates because I actually was wrong. They do have green pants. but they only wear them for their throwback or alternates, and they do have white pants that they wear with their alternate
Yep.
winter whiteout that they had to hop on the band.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I
they
will
live in
say,
Wisconsin, which is right next to Minnesota, so they have to do the same thing.
yeah, of course,
'Cause
of
it's so
course.
stupid.
I will
I
say
have thoughts.
their throwback, which I've switched the slide now. Their throwback is the yellow helmeted one with the no logo on it. The all green. I think it's hideous. It just doesn't work. It just everything's wrong with it.
Their helmet is missing one thing on their green one, and I think it's perfect. When I say it, you might get it. It's missing a John Deere logo on the side of their helmet.
These got definitely the John Deere Packers right there with that uniform. I think it's hideous. I do think they did well with their alternate helmet. Granted, it's the only thing they changed. I guess they did throw white pants on there for their winter whiteout or whatever.
Though.
I know,
I have
but
so many thoughts.
I kind of like the simplicity of it and that they got rid of the yellow altogether in it. I like it. I like that helmet.
But then there's still yellow in the uniform.
I know.
It doesn't match.
They should
You either
have
put the yellow around the G and the yellow stripe in the middle on the helmet, or you get rid of the yellow on the uniform. This has been my biggest argument with it. If you're going to do a whiteout, get rid of the yellow. And then it'll be fine. Green and white, that looks
I'd
cool.
like to see
Or
what it
add
looks
some yellow
like.
back
If
on
somebody
the
has, photoshopping skills, I'd like to see it that way and see what it would look like. I wonder if it's just too
I think it would
plain
look
at
more
that
complete.
point.
The helmet looks plain. It looks like they got 90% of the way done and then said, "Oh crap, we need to wear these tomorrow. Screw the yellow. Here you go."
Okay, yeah,
Like,
they might have.
It's not done. It doesn't look done to me.
Okay, what's our fashionista have to say about it? Tell us what you think on their alternates, throwbacks, this combo, whatever. Go for it.
Throwbacks are pretty sad. The green is sad all together like that. There is no break in between it, and I agree, it is not the look for them. I mean, they definitely could have done better with that uniform. I think they could have had white pants for all I care, and it would have looked 10 times better already. But they're definitely missing a logo on there, and I agree. Put John Deere on there if they're gonna take the
At least get some
green
money
logo
out of
off.
the deal,
Yeah,
So-
might as well. But
Oh my God,
the
your mom.
alternate white. Whew,
Mom owes you another $50 and another 20 on top of it for getting it wrong the first
I was
time.
gonna say, actually, she doesn't because she couldn't even spell Kansas right. Come on.
The green twine goes to Kwanzaa? It goes to a holiday now?
Jeez. Oh my gosh, Katie. Come on, man. All right. Well, on that note, then let's just move on from these ugly uniforms.
To some that are actually pretty good.
Yes,
I
Detroit.
think these ones are actually pretty good.
Detroit changed up their uniforms last year. These are those uniforms, and I think they did a phenomenal job on them. If there's anybody that is going to compete with the Vikings for best uniforms in this division, it's these guys. It's the Lions. And as fate would have it, they're the ones that are competing for the division as a whole as well. Of which we a few years back ridiculed one of our own for that comment in the off season.
Oh yeah, when we hounded Bo. Like, we did a division prediction show. This is before I moved here, and Bo, it was Josh, me, Dave, and Bo, and we're like doing our division predictions. We're like, all right, NFC North, what do you got? Blah 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 blah. Most of us had Vikings going number 1, or maybe the Packers going up number 1 and Vikings number 2. This is when the Lions still sucked. This is when they were like, okay, their coach is good, but their team is terrible. And Bo's like, you know what? I pay attention to what Vegas says, which is how he does all of that stuff. And he's like, I'm going to pick the Lions to win. And all of us just started laughing. We hounded him.
Yep.
We said, get him off the show. This guy is a high, which he lives in Denver. There was a chance of that.
Yeah.
But we're like, no way. And then the Lions go out and win the division, and we're just like, well, open mouth, insert foot. Damn.
Yeah.
We all got that wrong.
Yes. So, but yeah, as for their uniforms, Kevin's calling it a fluorescent blue. It's not far off of a fluorescent blue.
I think the official name is Honolulu blue.
And that
Is
feels
actually
right.
what it's called.
That feels right, but I like it. I think it's
They do look like Stitch.
fair enough, but I like it. I mean, they have a good color palette to begin with the whole blue, silver, and white, and I think they do it right with the way they employ it throughout this uniform. I really like it. I'm a fan of it. It's a blocky number, but they do have the piping, the outline. I like it. I like the blue face mask. I think works. I mean, all the
that
blues
was the
match.
icing on the cake, in my opinion.
I like the stripes. The stripes are the same. This is a big Sergio one. The stripes on the pants and the helmet are the same. Granted, they're not the same on the jersey, but you couldn't do blue stripes on a blue jersey. So I just think it works all the way around. I think this is a great uniform. That's my opinion on it. What do you have to say? On to you guys. Ooh, she doesn't agree.
She said, huh?
Okay, how's that? Go ahead, explain.
So, Kevin just confirmed that it is Honolulu blue. Just putting that out there, because
Honolulu.
Bro had it right.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily like how bright it is.
Okay.
It's a very bright uniform all around. The silver and the blue, it's just bright, and it's very in your face.
Loud? Would you call it loud?
It's very loud. Yeah.
Okay.
I would say loud. It's pretty loud. I do like the blocky numbers on it. That's great, and it makes it good to read, but just all of the light colors on it, it doesn't break it up well. Kind of like Packers with all of their dark colors on their just all green uniform, or their other uniform, that the yellow pants and the white. It didn't break it up well, and
Yeah.
it's one of those things. It's like you need to have a bit of contrast in between it, and
Okay.
I mean, the contrast on the helmet, perfect. They did great with that. I like that helmet. It's everything else. It's just bright, and it's very light that I don't like.
Okay. That's a fair take,
But,
Agman.
Yeah, I think we nailed it. We've talked about this one. I do think, looking at the color and the brightness of the blue, though, this is just like the studio image that when they released these, that's why it's that bright. Because I'm pretty sure when we were in Great Falls and over Thanksgiving, I think it was the Lions and the Bears that were on TV that we were watching, and it actually didn't look that bad. Like, these actually look pretty good on TV. The old uniforms that the Lions had before these, they kind of had a weird angular number and word font to it that was trying to make it look, I don't know if they were trying to do like a jungle type effect or something on it. I don't know. Yeah, kind of thing. And it was okay. But what was really missing, and I think Josh mentioned it earlier, I think it's the icing on the cake. The reason these are great is the blue face mask got brought back.
Yep.
For years and years and years, from like just the 2000s. It was like a black face mask or a silver face mask.
Yep.
The blue is what they needed. The blue is what they had the last time they were really great. Before this turnaround, or this time of year, or this era of Lions,
There you
I'll
go.
say. The gray, like the blue, makes it so much better. The gray looked really dull, really boring, with exception, I think, of their throwbacks we'll get to here in a bit. Those ones I think are okay. If I made a slide for them, I think I did. Their throwbacks are a throwback for a reason.
Yeah.
But these are solid. These are great. I think these were the most consistent new uniforms that were rolled out last year.
Yep.
And I think everybody mostly agreed with that.
Yep.
So that's their blue. And they call it their One Pride home uniform, because I think in the back of the neck, not on the outside, but just on the inside, it's like stitched One Pride on there or something like that. So they're trying to theme them.
Yep. Now, I will say I've complained a lot with the away uniforms for teams thus far that I don't like the
I
white.
like this one.
The white for the Detroit Lions in their away uniform, this works for me. And Carissa, going on your brightness of the blue comment, I think the blue, this does a better representation or represents the actual blue that they're using a little bit better. I think Agman kind of, what he said there with the studio lighting and whatnot might hold true. And this looks more like the actual blue that it is. That said, I mean, I don't disagree that it is a bright uniform, that other one, their home uniform. But getting back to it and what I originally said, of the teams, everybody has a white jersey for their aways. This one I think looks pretty darn good. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's because of the blue and just the way the blue, silver, white works together, but or if it's the fact that they made their Detroit real big on there and they kind of broke. I don't know, but I like it. I like this one. I like the blue pants as well. I think whoever did the Detroit uniform redesign did it well, and I like this one. So that's all I'll say about that.
Yeah, no, they definitely got this one down a lot better. I like the blue pants rather than the blue top with the silver pants. I think that looks far better.
Yep.
In my opinion, than having what Kevin says, fluorescent blue in his other comment up there.
Yeah.
I agree with that. And the other light, it is fluorescent blue. It's not this nice, breezy Hawaiian vibe feel, but it definitely does a lot better in this, and I think it definitely works a lot better with the face mask, is what that is.
Yep.
But it definitely works a lot better that way than with bright blue jersey and silver pants.
Okay.
That's what I think. But
good. I like it.
I don't got much to say.
No, I mean I think it's effective. You know, like I said, of the white uniforms, which everybody has a white jersey. Sorry, I shouldn't say a white uniform. This works. I like it. Agman, you got anything else to add on this?
We've said it already, but the redesign team nailed it. Like when we were even talking about them getting a redesign, I said this is what they needed to do, and they did it. Like it was perfect.
Yeah.
10 out of 10 redesign. These are some of the better uniforms in the league, and they did it. I know you and I have some really good thoughts, especially you, on this next one. So if you wanted to transition over to their alternates and throwbacks combined, I didn't want to have 6 slides for everybody.
Yeah. No, I got you.
I put them together. I'll start with their throwbacks, get it out of the way. It's by far the dullest one they have.
Yep.
Solid silver helmet, silver face mask, no logo on it. Solid blue, silver numbers, silver pants, nothing else. That's it. They would wear these usually on Thanksgiving as like a throwback thing. So like every now and again there'd be like an orange Thanksgiving patch on there or something to represent the TV station that they were playing for that day. I have nothing wrong to say about it. I have nothing against it. It's Sergio's rule was if a throwback sucked then, it's okay to suck now. I think this one looks fine. It's simple, it's effective, it's a cool piece of history because they weren't super designed when they first came out. So throwback, that's my thought. I'm moving on from that one. This next one, the black one, is something that we just gawked over for a long time last year when we saw these, because they had a black uniform 15, 16 years ago, something like that, and it wasn't nearly as good, and everyone as these ones, but everyone wanted the black to come back, and the coach said, okay, we win the division, the black uniforms are coming back. So he called his shot like a year ahead of time and got it made. And these are they call them Motor City Muscle. And man, these things look cool. The blue helmet, this is their second blue helmet attempt in 2 years, and they nailed it compared to the first one.
Oh, yeah.
They did, which I don't have a picture of. That one sucked. It had potential, but overall it kind of sucked. But I love this black and blue. They have the black, silver piping on the blue numbers, making it just pop off of that black jersey, black uniform. The blue helmet to match. The blues aren't perfect because it's kind of like a matte, shiny, kind of like a satiny thing. It's not glossy. But man, It looks so good.
It's a metallic almost, you know.
This is what I would accept as like when we did our all blacks, all whites. The Lions can stop here. They have their all blacks.
Yes.
I will accept this is their submission. Like they don't need a black helmet. It would look a little weird if they did. It could look cool, having like the silver outline on a blue lion on a black helmet. That could look neat, but I think they nailed it with this one. I love the Motor City Muscle. I'm going to pass it to Carissa first, get her thoughts, and then we'll let you go off.
Yeah, go for it.
I know you really like it. So pass it to you, Riss. See what you think on both of them, on one of them. Go for it.
I agree with the Motor City Muscle. Jeez, if I could speak English today. But that is a solid uniform. That thing's cool. I think it's cool. The throwback it's plain. It's plainer than hell.
Yeah.
Vanilla.
Yeah, but
it's I don't get it. Like for a throwback uniform, I don't get the no logo on the helmet because Packers did that too, and it's just weird to me. It's like, why no logo? Like,
and some of it is that, I mean, a throwback is a throwback. You know, they've got to go back to what it was before. But in my opinion, if this is your throwback, then don't wear it. Like just don't do a throwback. Not everybody does a throwback, you know, and I mean most people do, but I don't know. This one's it's a very lame throwback, and so I say just do away with it.
It's kind of sad.
The next throwback is quite the opposite.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Yeah. It's.
Oh boy.
It's one of the. So sorry to interrupt you there, but I think I agree with you both. The Motor City Muscle uniform is fantastic. This is what I was talking about. Now, I know when we have Sergio on, his complaint is, you know, about the whole black uniform thing is, well, if it's not in your color palette for your team, then you don't deserve you shouldn't have a black uniform. I am the opposite of that. I don't care. And I think this is a great example of, even if you don't have black in your color palette, it can look fantastic if you do it right. And maybe it's just the fact that the Lions have the right colors to go with it. I don't know, but I think they absolutely hit a home run with this. This is what I'm talking about with the whole, the thing that Andrew and I were kind of hinting to the NFL on, with the whole
That
lunar
midnight
eclipse
one?
thing. Yeah, like
That
an
would be
all white
cool.
uniform and all
That
black
would be
uniform.
cool.
They don't have to necessarily have a black helmet as you see here with the Lions. I think this is just this is what the white uniform is for the Vikings, like the home run that is. This is the home run for the NFL on the black uniform, in my opinion. Now, I saw you guys kind of snickering there.
Andrew's
So,
reading Gil's comment.
Lions more like kitty cats. Dan Campbell went to my high school, used to beat the bag. Nice. He was such a nerd. Gil 69. All right. Well, I'm sure. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that.
Campbell then.
I don't think
I'm kidding.
Gil is the Lord of Tall Tales, and I don't know if he's telling the truth, but that halfway sounds like a bunch of crap. I don't know, but it's funny.
Yeah, nonetheless,
awesome.
Gil is always great for comments, so
We love ya.
we appreciate it nonetheless. Truth or not, I don't care. But okay, so let's move on because we got to move on. Moving on to
Da
Bears. They are,
Bears.
you know, forever I thought that when I was a young kid, thought that their uniform was black. But it's obviously a very, very, very dark blue. Their uniform is a classic, I guess. They kind of have stuck with what they've had for a long time. Now we will see their throwback, which was hideous. But they've had this look for a long, long time, but I think it works. And I like the fact that they have the outlining on the numbers. You know, this is one of those teams that has stuck with what they had for quite a while. And, you know, with many of those teams, like we saw with the Green Bay Packers, that includes just a straight up one color number. Well, these guys have always had a outline around their numbers. I like it. I think it's a good uniform. I mean, I think it works. Is it the most flashy, fantastic uniform in the NFL? No, but I don't think it's a bad uniform. That's just my opinion. What do you guys think on the Bears?
Yeah, looking at these ones, I think now it's just a realization hit me as you were talking. Is the NFC North definitely is? Everyone calls it, at least in the last couple of years, have called it the black and blue division because at least 3 out of the 4 teams consistently are all pretty good. Last year it was Lions, Vikings, literally the 2 best in the conference, and then the Packers were solid there too. The Bears sucked last year, but it's always, even if the Bears suck, when it's an in-division game like the Bears playing the Packers or whatever, they always bring the next step. It's kind of like if with our favorite college, when they play the other team, no matter whether our season is good or bad, we bring the heat against that other team.
Yep.
Every time. So it always happens. I think kind of going on it.
There you go.
He got it. Good. Thank you. But the realization I came to is I think the NFC North has the most simple but the most historic uniforms. Like 3 out of these 4 teams, those are pretty much the uniforms they had a long time ago. Even though the Lions ones are brand new, that's what they had 40, 50 years ago, or 40 years ago, whatever it was, and it worked then. The Bears have always had this. I don't understand the GSH on it. I've always forgotten what that means. So Gil or Kevin or anybody in the comments, if you want to do a quick Google search on what that means, that'd be awesome.
It's an old either owner or coach. I can't remember which one it is. But it's
I can't either, but the Bears have had this burnt orange and navy forever.
Yep.
Like Walter Payton, their running back in the 80s, same uniform style. Everything they had, this hasn't changed. I think these are really solid. I've never had an issue with them. I think the Vikings out of the whole division have the flashiest uniforms because they are the most different out of their just straight basics. Because they have the Nordic numbers. Everything else is really straightforward, really basic. Here's stripes, here's numbers, let's go. But even still, it's simple, it's basic, it's classic. I think all of the teams in this division have that, with the exception of like 1 or 2 uniforms that they all get fancy with. But I've liked these. I like the blue and orange. I think orange is an underrated color, I think, in general. In the NFL, I think it is too. There's a couple teams we'll look at probably next episode that use orange a lot. Like that is their primary colors. But other than that, outside of these 3 teams, orange is pretty underrated, I think.
Yeah.
I think these guys do it well. I think they do it well. I don't know if you had any thoughts. If you want me to pass the mic over.
Yeah, let's hear what Carissa has to say. By the way, Sportniks did chime in. George Hallis is the GSH, and the Bears, the rounded numbers I do like. They're I don't know if anybody else does the rounded numbers like this. But, maybe some others do.
Numbers, but they don't have the pipe.
I think the rounded numbers look good with this uniform. Anyway, Carissa, what do you have to say? What are your thoughts on these guys?
No, they do pretty good. I mean, they're not copping Denver Broncos by any means with their orange and blue, but because that blue is very dark and that blue honestly reminds me of my old Suburban that we used to have when I was a child.
Okay.
It's that color of blue.
Well, they play about like an old Suburban,
black,
so.
Yeah. It's definitely different, and that sienna orange is quite nice on it. And I agree with Kevin. It works well. The rounded numbers, beautiful. But I don't have much else to say.
Gil says he's a flashy guy, and he thinks these are boring and need an update. I think
I just think Jay Cutler. I just think of Jay Cutler, and it makes me want to yak. That's fair.
Jay Cutler was always
guys,
he was great entertainment. Just his facial expressions
Just
or
kinda
lack
how-
thereof
yeah.
on the sideline. He was like Kimi Räikkönen of the NFL. So
yeah.
anyway.
Didn't say anything.
yeah. So I like it. I think as far as a classic-esque uniform, it's one of the good ones that I don't mind them sticking with. Stick with it. It works. Let's move on to their aways. This is another one where the white jersey actually, I think, works okay, and I don't know why. If it's the fact that they pair it with the blue pants and just that breakup because of the fact that they got the blue pants, blue helmet, and dark blue, albeit. If it just the way that breaks up makes it look okay. Or if it's the way they did the stripes, the three different, or not, well, I guess it is three different colors because technically there's white stripes in between, but you get it. Anyway, I don't know why, but I don't mind this white as much as I do like the Vikings and the Packers white. I just think the Vikings and Packers whites are, in most teams' whites, are very, very boring. This one works. It's just another one of those that works. I mean, even, and I'm not just saying, you're not going to hear that a ton out of me. Like the Chargers, my team, I don't like our white uniforms. I just whatever. But I think this one looks okay. Carissa, you've got the mic. What do you think on this one?
It's definitely one of the better whites that is out there. I agree with you. This one and Detroit's whites, those two are definitely my top for whites. That they've done them right and they've done them well. So I don't have much else to say about them. They're pretty simple and plain cut and dry. So
yeah,
anything?
There's not a ton to say on this one. Agman, what do you say?
Not much different than normal. I like the orange, just the way they've used it. They use it well. She said Denver, which reminded me of another orange team. There's actually a lot more orange than you think in the NFL. Some use it better than others. And then I've never had an issue with the Bears uniforms. Again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and they haven't broke it.
Now, I will say on that
uniforms,
comment,
they've definitely had some broken players.
Well, yeah. On that comment, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, the team which you both have mentioned, the Broncos, it wasn't broke. They're orange, and they tried to fix it, and they broke it. So anyway, we'll get to that one later on.
It has grown on me, but it's still not good.
It's not good at all. It's not. But yeah. Anyway, all right. So yep, Chicago's away uniforms. I don't mind it. I like it. I think it's as far as an away uniform for a team, it looks okay. They're one of the ones that look all right. Let's get to their alternates and their throwbacks.
Doozies, though.
Yeah, their throwbacks aren't the worst in the NFL, but they sure aren't the best. They're one of the worst, I would say.
I could feel the as I scrolled down to see these. I'll take the heat on these first ones. Starting with their alternate. So they usually, orange is a part of their color scheme. They've had orange jerseys before, but they usually had a blue helmet with them or whatever, what have you. That was when Brian Urlacher was there, however many years ago that's been. But they decided, you know what, we're going to throw an orange helmet in there because we have the ability to have a new third helmet. Because they use the same blue helmet for everything, so they're like, screw it, we'll mess around. They threw in the orange. I don't think it works.
Yeah.
They kept the stripes the same with the orange jersey, but they kind of look like the Cincinnati Bengals with the round numbers now. Like the round numbers are almost the same. So they wear these maybe once, maybe twice a year. I don't know. I don't like it when they do. Their quarterback they had when they first debuted these kind of ruined them too because he's now the Jets QB. But I mean, they have the 51. That must have been in honor of, I think Dick Butkus was 51. I don't remember.
Sounds right.
So this was obviously a tribute thing or something. I don't like the orange. I haven't liked the orange. It looks a little distracting. Now, Stripezilla over here is their throwback.
Yeah, there you go. I was trying to think of some snarky comment to make on this Stripezilla. That's pretty darn good. There.
Yeah, these are their throwbacks that I think were like the 30s. So in the 30s, the NFL had leather helmets and all of that stuff. And it wasn't a jersey. It was like a long sleeve shirt. And yeah, it was stripes everywhere. Sergio loves these ones because of how ridiculous it is and how stupid the stripes look. He loves he leans into the stupid with these. I think their Pippi Longstocking, like stupid long striped orange and blue socks are dumb. I think the 3 stripes on the helmet is like, we're going to kind of do Michigan, but not. Have the weird wings.
What bear
They
has
have
stripes? Like, I don't know. Anyway,
They have the same stripes on the side, as you can see, but it's the stripes on the top of the shoulder that really just send it home. I'm pretty sure, I can't remember for a fact or not. I went to a Vikings-Bears game, and it was a win and in for the Vikings. If they won, they got into the playoffs, and they were playing the Bears when Mitch Trubisky was their QB. I cannot remember for a fact if they were wearing these. I just got to look up pictures. Vikings-Bears 2018, right around New Year's Eve is that game. They might have been wearing these. They might have been wearing their regular aways. Either way, they released them in 2018. I know that for a fact because I remember not liking them then either. These are, oh my God. Like, it's, you look at something, and then when you look at stuff for too long, your eyes start to hurt. That you look at the stripes here, and it makes my eyes hurt if you look at them for too long.
It feels like
even on TV, they're just as stupid. So you kind of, I could like them if you lean into the stupid, but otherwise, no.
To me,
you really have to lean into the stupid.
To me, the stripes a lot over here is kind of like, it feels like maybe the owner was about to sell the team and they were like, hey, let's redesign a uniform. And they kept coming back to him and he was like, I don't know, throw another stripe on there. Like, like he just didn't care. And he's like, more stripes. I mean, they're Bumblebee wannabe stockings there, and then the 93 stripes on their, I mean, for the love of God, they look like a runway. It just, what is going on? So sorry, I know you passed the mic just to Carissa there, but I had to at least say something on Stripezilla or Stripes a lot, whatever you want to call it. It's ridiculous. I think it's stupid. Anyway, Carissa, go ahead, and then I'll give my final comments on their orange there, and then we'll move on and get out of here.
I'm gonna comment on the orange first. I like it for the fact that it's nice hunter's orange, and you can wear that out in the hunting field if you want.
Hey, by the way, Carissa teaches hunter safety.
I teach hunters that. Heck yeah.
So
it's perfect for that.
Yeah, I mean, these guys could go out hunting, I guess. So.
Heck yeah. They definitely have more than,
as long as they're not with Dick Cheney, they wouldn't
orange.
Anyway.
But oh God. No. The orange definitely doesn't do it for an alternate though. It's kind of sad.
Have we been invaded?
We have been invaded by none other than
Bailey.
Come here, B.
Hi, beautiful girl.
Here. Hi, come say hi.
She's huge.
Hi.
Oh my goodness.
That's a huge bitch.
Huge.
She is a female dog. Come on now. I'm not cussing. It's,
Hey.
oh, Bailey. Oh, hi.
Josh, we're
hi,
a family
Mosey.
friendly show.
Then we got Bailey. Mosey's
That's
in
funny.
here as well. She's just not as big.
Mosey.
But oh, Bailey. Bailey's about to get in her chair.
That's awesome.
Mount up there,
Bailey's
Bailey.
a horse of a dog.
Yeah,
No way.
she is.
Has Mom ridden Bailey like a horse yet?
Not yet. But Bailey hasn't knocked her over either yet. So give it time. Give it time. There will be time. I'm sorry. Jeez. So it's Bailey's fault. What were you saying?
okay.
Hunter's
You like
orange?
dogs.
Something?
Definitely Hunter's orange, but it does not work for an alternate uniform. I think they need to add the blue helmet back to it because
Yeah.
orange helmet,
a little better with the blue.
it's not it. The orange helmet's not doing it.
I
And
mean,
then-
You got to give it to Chicago. They're not afraid of going bold.
I guess-
They're
yeah, I guess not.
with between the stripes and then the all orange there. Now I will say I have a Brian Urlacher orange jersey, Super Bowl jersey, even though they didn't wear the orange one in the Super Bowl. It's a Korea special, and I love it. I think the orange jersey itself is sick. I think it looks great. But I agree, the orange helmet is a miss with it.
Yeah.
I like the idea of the orange helmet. I like that they're going bold there. I don't know where they could pull it off. Like, does it go with an all white uniform? I don't know. Does it go with their all blue uniform? I don't know. I like the idea of it, but I just don't think there's any combo that the orange helmet works for Chicago. Anyway, Agman, did I say something? What did I say? Go
no,
ahead.
I stole it back because I agree with you. I like the concept of the orange. Like, none of these things by themselves are an offense. I like them all by themselves. Like the orange uniform, I pulled up on my phone and showed Carissa just now, like what they used to do with the blue helmet, and it looks all right. Like, it's not bad, but having the orange jersey, the orange helmet, I like the orange helmet. Like, if I was just doing a helmet collection and it's like, oh, I want to have something cool and unique, I'd buy that orange helmet.
I would
it
too.
Looks pretty cool.
That's a good call. The helmet on its own. Oh, jeez, oh, Pizza. I'm still alive.
Lando!
Now we got Landon. Hey, and how do you? We got Curly in here now. Oh, all right. Well, see you later. Jeez, we're almost done. What's up? You just saying hey?
Yeah, what's up, Andrew?
What's up?
What's
Hey,
up,
Carissa.
Lando?
And Carissa, hi!
So, yeah, we're almost done. I'll come out in a bit.
I'm so sorry.
You're good, man. There's nothing to be sorry about. It's a family-friendly show. So, all right. So, gosh. Anyway, you were saying. So, go.
There's no egregious war crimes with the orange uniform by themselves, but together it just doesn't mesh. That's
I
what
agree.
I gotta say.
Carissa?
Right, I need to comment on
Final
Sir Stripes
comment?
a lot now.
Yes.
Yeah, Sir Stripes a lot. The leggings remind me of
The
what
leggings.
a girl would buy for stockings with the stripes, the black and white stripes. Yeah, that's exactly what it reminds me of.
It's very,
kinda
very
sad.
Wizard of Oz. Like, this is the Wicked Witch of the
Oh, yeah,
West,
yeah,
is it
yeah.
not?
There it is.
Like,
Dorothy.
that's where I've seen
Might
those
as well
socks
just get 'em
before.
some red shoes.
Yeah, I
Put
mean,
some
click your
bright,
heels
sparkly
twice
red
and maybe you'll
shoes.
win a game. I don't know. So,
Back to Kansas with the green flag.
God almighty. So,
Goodness.
um,
No, you. At this point, the stripes, you might as well put it on both legs and just make the entire uniform a stripe.
I think what
At this
this
point,
uniform
it's-
needs is some more stripes.
I think it just needs to either have more stripes or go away.
It needs the Bumblebee Steeler treatment.
There you go. Now there's a throwback that is hideous. The
But it doesn't exist anymore, so we won't.
I know, but oh my gosh, you got to show her.
Alright.
Do you know what uniform we're talking about,
Go for it.
Carissa?
I think
Show
I have
her-
an idea, but
The Bumblebee
you'll have
It's
to pull it
the
up.
Steelers Bumblebee,
Oh.
to make it even more egregious than it already was. Then for the number, they put a big square,
Oh,
a
no.
white square in the middle of the uniform,
Oh, they did
and then put the number in
Oh, they.
They did.
there.
How is my?
Try not to
okay,
throw
it's
up.
funny because I have an uncle named Josh too, and
sorry.
he's a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. It's like
Yeah,
sir,
that
no.
is.
This looks like what should be worn
That
in the
is-
longest yard, where it's the convicts versus.
Yes,
That is
The
foul.
that is such a foul that
foul on a
it's
different
almost worth
level.
owning one of those, just to kind of
Yeah.
like McAfee has in the
Yeah.
studio. You know, it's like
Definitely.
it works because it's just so obnoxiously stupid that it's like, well, you might as well have one of those.
Might as well.
Yeah. So, but Agman, I like what you said
Yeah.
about the helmet. I would buy that helmet on its own. In fact, I own 34 NFL mini helmets. Maybe I should get that as well and make it a 35th. But
I'm sure it exists.
oh yeah, well there's
It'd
a
be cheaper than
billion,
your F1 mini helmets.
dude. Those things are
Although those
stupid
things
expensive.
Are so cool.
They
Those
are
things
so cool.
though.
They're legit. Like my cat, when never mind, is well protected cat. So no concussions for my cat. But yeah, those helmets are stupid expensive. But anyway, all right. So that's it. That's our uniform review. One thing left to do with them though, and we kind of hinted at the beginning of the show. Let's circle back, if you will, in that we like to do polls and whatnot. So let's plan on getting a poll out there on the Instagrams or wherever else we can do polls that people can vote on their favorite of the division, the uniforms. Not sure how we're going to do it because I want to do pick a team, not necessarily a uniform. You know what I mean? Like, do
Right.
the
So I'm kinda
Vikings have
wondering
the
if we should
best
do a pick a
combo?
team.
Or, I mean, look.
I got
I'll
some
start it. I'll start it off and just say, I think it's no contest. The Vikings have the best uniform combo out there for this division, at least. So I'll kick it back to that and say Minnesota for me all the way. Not necessarily, again, I don't want to necessarily say, okay, the Minnesota home uniform is the best or the Minnesota alternate is the best. Just which team has the best combo of uniforms out of this division? In my opinion, definitely Minnesota. I mean, and we're talking to two Minnesota fans here as well, and some Minnesota fans in the comments. But yeah,
if you take the homer effect out of it, I would actually have to say Detroit has the best complete uniform set. If you take the Minnesota homer effect out of it, but I love those Minnesota uniforms. I'm gonna pick them 9 times out of 10. So that's why it's not going to be up to us. It's going to be up to the viewers and the fans that are going to vote on the polls, which I can talk about a little bit when we get to our socials slide. But I'm going to put something together, a graphic with everything on it, for the fans to vote on, and then they can pick what team actually is going to represent the division. Because I honestly think it's going to be between Minnesota and Detroit.
Well, I think there's no doubt that it's between those two.
Right.
Not to just step on you there, but I just did. So, but
no, you're right though.
Because I don't think
that
Green
is the
Bay
correct answer.
I don't think Green Bay nor Chicago holds weight to it. Chicago would definitely be number 3, with Green Bay number 4. Not that the Green Bay uniform is bad. I just like the Chicago uniform better of those bottom 2. But I say the Vikings and the Lions, I agree with you, are definitely the top 2. Me not being a homer for either of them, I pick the Vikings. Maybe it's because I love purple, but that's just my opinion. Carissa, what do you have to say? Homer effect or not? Who's got the best ones?
Should I just go real controversial? And
Yes,
the Bears?
absolutely.
I'm
Stripes
just
a lot
kidding.
is the best.
Sir Stripes a lot.
Oh my God,
Sir
get
win.
out! You're not coming back if you. Anyway,
No, I'm messing. No, Vikings for sure is my vote. Kevin thinks we should do best and worst vote. Worst vote for me would definitely be the Bears.
yeah. I mean, well,
But Sir Stripes a lot's pretty foul.
that throwback
Green Bay's
for
also
Green
pretty-
Bay, which
Green
I just
Bay's
threw
pretty
up
great.
here and almost threw up in the mic, is pretty hideous. That
It's pretty
all green
awful
with
as
the
well.
yeah. Anyway, but man, Detroit. I think it's between Detroit and Minnesota, no doubt. I give Minnesota the
Yep.
edge, and I am not a Minnesota homer. I'm a Chargers fan, so albeit
Yeah.
Minnesota is in the family blood here, so I guess you could say I'm a Minnesota homer, but whatever. Yeah, so we will do a vote, a poll, and get that out there eventually here. In fact, let me just pull up the social slide. So here we are. This is the NFL social slide. It's fairly simple and straightforward. Just screenshot here, take a screenshot, and go back to this in your photos at any point in time. If you want to go to the YouTube page, just hold your thumb on the QR code next to the YouTube logo. So the top 3 there are the main Duct Tape Dynasty, my, if you will, pages. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. The very next one down there is like you see in the let's see if I can do this. Where is it? Right down there, you can see the logo for Agman's Instagram is dtd.bigskycountry. Yeah, it's kind of up in the corner for you there, Agman. Because I have it on your
code.
But so that's his Instagram. That's usually where all our polls at least originate. That's the main polls page, but they kind of get sent out in multiple places. But check that one out, and you'll definitely not miss a poll. Excuse me. And then the bottom one, we keep talking about Kevin Sportniks. Excuse me, I'm burping up a storm here. He actually does, well, they're called Sportniks. All those caricatures there on the side next to it, those are all done by him. He is a cartoonist. He is the Duct Tape Dynasty cartoonist. He does not just caricatures of random people or professional teams, but as you can see, these are Duct Tape Dynasty caricatures for hockey, football, and baseball, but he also does them for your kids. So you can get them that look like your kids. And he does a great job. And to be honest, he charges pennies, it seems like, on the dollar for what he could charge for these. So if you're at all interested in his work, check that out. Just like I said, screenshot this, go back, hold your thumb on that QR code on the bottom there. It'll take you to his Instagram page where you can find a whole bunch of stuff, and you can communicate with him and get some of these made for yourself if you want. So
It would sure be nice if we had that hockey mask for the show.
Yeah.
Not like we don't have someone who does that for a living.
Yeah, no
Like,
kidding,
we could-
Dave.
We
Where is
could
he?
have one, Dave.
Yeah. We need to, yes. Anyway. So yeah, that's it. That's the show. We have gone for 103 minutes thus far, which is quite a while, guys. We've gone over an hour and 45 minutes. Are you kidding me? Is that what that comes out to? Hour and 45? No. Yeah. 60?
Yeah, hour 40,
Yeah.
100.
Yeah. Wow. So anyway, we've been going for a long time. 45 of it was just on the Vikings though. So whatever. That said, you guys got anything else to hit on before we get the heck out of here?
Just keep your eyes open. I know there's a bunch of stuff that we're hoping and praying to get off the drawing board and onto the socials and stuff for you guys to see for just Duct Tape Dynasty in general. We're in the middle of the F1 season, so we've got those shows that are still going. I don't know how they've gone standings-wise since the last few races because we've had some big stuff go on. We're hoping to get back into football since it's coming up, and we'll see if we have a couple back-to-back things this fall, but I think we might still do fantasy football. We've got a lot of stuff up in the air that we just got to get figured out. Now that things are starting to calm down a little bit this summer for everybody, I think we can. So
Yeah.
just don't forget to like and subscribe, to hit the notification bell so you know when we go live. Hopefully we'll get some more regular stuff, and we'll keep things going here.
We definitely will get some more regular stuff out there. Riz, thank you for joining us. I think you're a hit. You got to come back. You promise? Can you come back?
Oh, heck yeah.
Okay, good.
Obviously, I live here. I don't have a choice.
Fair enough. Well, you've at least got to finish out the uniforms with us, which there's plenty more to do there. But
Absolutely.
it's a pleasure having you on. It's good to see you. I know
glad
we
to
were
be
just
here.
in Montana, all of us together. Hey, look at that. There's somebody over my shoulder now waving goodbye. So
Hey.
not only hi, son, but bye,
Bye,
son.
Mom.
So
Bye, Mama.
and anyway, all right, guys, we're going to get the heck out of here as soon as I can find the credit slide. Again, I thank you. We love y'all. Y'all are the absolute best. And we'll see you next time.
See ya.